because they're so high off the ground. So these guys are not only going high off the ground, off the lip, but they're also already 20 feet high. So it's a very dangerous, very precarious situation that these guys are going to be putting themselves in. I can't wait.
Well, you saw by that start list right there, we've got 8 riders in the field. We've got some Nitro Tour Live regulars in here, some avid contest riders, as well as some guys that are absolute trick machines. How it works out here tonight, these 8 riders are each going to get 2 runs. There's 3 jumps in the runs here. The judges are working off of overall impression here, and it's your best of the 2 runs that counts. As we look at the top of the start ramp here, this is Pat Casey getting the party started. Be on the lookout for smooth style, and this guy has a crazy rotation to his tricks.
Yeah, Pat Casey dropping it in with a triple tail whip 360.
You got a little
into a bar spin flip. Came up a little bit short, but then the truck to tail whip. I mean, these are tricks that have never even been done like on one jump, let alone 3 in a row, no problem. And these kids are just cutting sick right out of the gate.
Watch the
1,
landing.
2, 3, triple tail whip 360 on the first set. Into a bar spin flip, perfect rotation, everything coming in smooth. Case just a little bit on that second set, but still had enough speed to do that truck driver to tail whip.
Slipped the pedals there on that last one, but he did not dab him down there on the landing ramp. So the best possible run score you can get out here is a 10. The 5 judges in the booth are working off of a 1 to 10 scale. They average those 5 scores together. This is Alex Colborn out of the UK, known for being one of the most technically progressive riders around.
Yeah, I met this kid this morning, actually. I've watched him on Instagram for years, doing it with a bar spin backflip to a 360 triple tail whip, truck driver to 7. I don't even know why these guys are, where do they get these tricks from out of their brains? Like, this is video game stuff.
And it's insane how rapid fire they have to put them together 3 jumps in a row.
Nice, big, juicy backflip 360. Oh, here we go, 360 double tail, triple tail whip into a truck driver 720. I mean, these are insane tricks right in a row. I don't think they've ever been done right in a row like this.
All right, so Pat Casey in the top spot with a 6.68, but Mr. Colborn, second rider in, he gets a 7.96. Remember, as we go through this, the best possible run score you can get is a 10. Daniel Sandoval up next. He is your 2015 X Games BMX Park gold medalist. He's known for a big, explosive style.
Daniel Sandoval thrown off with a downside 360 tail up to bar spin, to truck driver, to bar spin. I mean, this is
bar spin back.
Super tech, yeah. I mean, truck driver to tail up to bar spin is crazy. Downside whip to bar spin, no problem. If you take a look, he has no brakes on his bike. And there's a double tail hook to no-hander. Then he does a truck driver, which is a 360 bar spin to tail whip to bar spin out.
And there's just so much going on. And look at that, the highest single run score we've seen thus far. We're 3 riders deep so far. And we're already knocking on the door almost around a 9 with an 8.50 that puts Sandoval in the top spot. Out of Wisconsin right now, we've got Colton Walker. This young man right here excels at park and dirt, but loves to ride a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that. Coming out of Wisconsin, out in the middle of nowhere, this guy's doing 360 double tail up. He wanted a bar spin right there. Oh, it looks like he had to throw it away on that last one there. Going for a bar spin to tail whip, but I think at the end of the day, he couldn't get that tail whip.
They hit the eject button there. But again, it's 2 runs per rider out here tonight, and it's the best run that counts.
That was going to be a bar spin tail whip at the same time, so that was pretty super tech trick right there, but just couldn't get it done.
That's wild because he's letting go of the bars at the same time as he's going into the whip. So Daniel Sandoval, your current leader here as we get to the halfway point of round 1 out of 2. So yeah, he's down there with just a little over a 4, so going to use that one as a throwaway run. Right here, you're looking at a 2-time X Games BMX Big Air gold medalist. He's got dirt skills and vert skills as well. It's Colton Satterfield.
Looks like he has mirror on his shirt, and that was a mirror trick right there. 360 backflip, no-hander. Oh, that was a Cam White, a la Cam White right there on that last set. Bar spin to tail whip backflip, which is a massive trick.
Colton's known for throwing down some insane combo moves as we take a look at some slow-mo highlights.
360 backflip no-hander is a beautiful trick. To bar spin to tail whip backflip on that last set. I'm very impressed.
He perfectly catches his feet on the pedals, and yeah, you see Dave Mirror right there on Colton Satterfield's shirt, so he needs an 8.50 or better. He'll get an 8.12, so that'll slide him into second. So it's Sandoval, Satterfield, and Colborn, your top 3 as of right now, with 3 riders left to go here in round 1. And this next one here, TJ, he's an explosive trick machine. It's Logan Martin.
Yeah, we got a backflip tail whip to no-hander into a triple tail whip and front flip tail whip. Landed a little long on that last set there, or else he would have pulled that run. We might have saw our new leader right now, but But at the end of the day, I think he's going to go back up there and send a run just like that. I mean, that front flip, tail whip, just barely coming off the pedals there at the end because he landed so flat. Just couldn't put it together.
That right foot was resting on the crank arm. He was trying to slide it back up to the pedal, so that'll give him a 4.54.
If you notice, he didn't have brakes, so if he would have had brakes, he might have been able to hold on to those brakes. This kid here, Nick Bruce, is a great kid. Doing it for torque. This guy's no joke.
Known for his technical skills, he's in for his first of 2 here tonight.
360 backflip no-hander. Oh, man, he goes down hard, but you know what? This kid is made of bricks. Look at him. He's no big deal. Just brush it off.
I mentioned progression and innovation. Like it seems like every year BMX tricks get so much more insane, and these guys just get up from these epic crashes and walk away from it.
So then right here, he got a little greedy and tried a triple tail whip
in a backflip.
Yeah, and then his feet just slipped right off there. He was over-rotating a little bit on that backflip as well. So I think that triple tail whip might have thrown him off axis just a little bit. So that's his throwaway run. He'll come back strong in the next hit, I bet.
All right, so Daniel Sandoval, still your current leader with that 8.50, but up next is our top qualifier out of the semis. He's a featured rider on the Nitro Circus Live Tour, excels at park and dirt. This is Brandon Lupos from Australia.
Yeah, Brandon Lupos looks good.
Yeah, he's been on point all weekend out here in
practice. Smooth backflip tail whip. Oh my goodness. Going for a 1080 right out of the gate off the second set.
Out of a backflip tail whip and trying to do a 1080. That's insane. 3 rotations around if you're sitting at home on the couch and you're like, hey, that's a lot of fast math.
Gosh, look at the backflip tail whip, and you think, okay, now he's just doing a backflip tail whip, but no. He comes out here and tries to spin that second set 3 times right out of the gate. Landed a little bit back wheel heavy, wasn't able to get that front wheel down, and took that slam pretty hard.
All right, so that is the end of round number 1. Out of 2, and this is where we stand so far. It's Daniel Sandoval sitting in the top spot right now with an 8.50. Colton Satterfield not too far behind him, and then Alex Colborn holding on to that 3rd spot as of right now. But it's best run that counts. Everybody gets one more shot at it here, so we could see that leaderboard change quite a bit as we bring back in Pat Casey.
Yeah, Pat Casey is no joke. 360 triple tail whip landed very, very long into a bar spin to no-hander. Truck driver to double tail whip 360.
Are you kidding me? Out of that save after landing long and having to throw basically a setup trick over the second set to regain his speed. That was huge.
Yeah, the first set he had to go a little bit bigger than normal, doing a triple tail whip 360, landed very long, had no speed, but still was able to get that bar spin to no-hander and save up enough speed for that truck driver to double tail whip. No problem at all. Pat Casey riding the sunset.
Again, if you're just joining us, the best possible run score you can get out here tonight is a 10. We have 5 judges in the booth. They're operating off of a 1 to 10 scale. We're averaging those 5 scores together. So that'll put Pat Casey up there at 4th, not in the top 3 position, but moves up quite a bit as we bring back in Alex Colborn.
Alex Colborn needing a big score to take this thing home tonight.
Well, he's looking at a podium spot as of right now.
360 triple tail whip into a truck driver to 360. This is an insane trick right here on that last set. That's like dream trick land. These guys are these guys are not kidding around today. Look at this first set. He had to have a lot of speed. He saw what Pat Casey was doing, landing flat. So he does an off-axis backflip with a bar spin. No problem. Lands perfect on that first set. Plenty of room for a triple tail whip 360 on the second set there, but landed high enough to get that truck driver to 360. So essentially he's doing a 720 with a bar spin. Nice work.
3 perfect landings in a row right there, and that'll bump him up to the top spot. A new leader. He overtakes Daniel Sandoval. The UK's Alex Colborn sitting in the top spot as of right now.
Huge. I said he needed a big score, and he did. He put it together.
All right, well, Mr. Sandoval is going to have the chance to answer back. He's been bumped down to 2nd. Do not count this gentleman out. He's got some explosive combo tricks.
He started with his front wheel already down the landing, so he didn't have enough speed, so that way he could do that big laid out front flip. Wow. Kid putting it together.
Do you think that's going to be enough, TJ, to take that top spot back for Mr. Colborn?
I'm not too sure with the degree of difficulty on that first set. Big laid out front flip. I can't tell you how much I love that trick. Landed perfectly on the landing to downside tail whip to bar spin. Perfect. Landed awesome on the landing. And then that was a truck driver to double tail whip, which is a 360 bar spin, double tail whip out. Lands perfect pedals, perfect execution. I gotta say, very close.
So an 8.56. So He is not going to overtake Alex Colborn with that second run. However, he is looking at a podium finish as of right now, but there's still 5 more riders left to go. Colton Walker sitting down there in 6th place, but this guy's been pushing the progression of ramp riding lately.
So much talent on the deck. That's a backflip bar spin to tail whip. Oh, 360 double tail whip to truck driver, no problem. Then he pulls off that tail whip. I think that was a bar spin or an X-up. I'm not sure. I got to see on the replay because it was just way too fast.
I think that might have been the trick that did him into the first run. We'll have to see.
A la the dirt jump legend Cam White with that backflip bar spin to tail whip. Then he does a 360 double tail whip to bar spin. And then does a bar spin tail whip.
Oh, look at the right hand.
Jump.
Fumbling for the grip, TJ. Did you see that?
Look at his right foot on the crank arm right there. He doesn't even give a care. He's barely making it, no brakes.
Oh my
Insane
goodness, a 9.22. So we have another lead change here in round number 2. Remember, this is the second and final round here. So Colton Walker takes over the top spot. So now it's Walker, Colborn, and Sandoval on that bubble spot for the podium. And we still have 4 riders left to go as we bring back in Colton Satterfield.
These guys are just feeding off each other now. Dave Mira, 360 backflip. No-hander. Oh, Colton just couldn't get it done. That was a 360 backflip no-hander. That was a beautiful first set. Just couldn't get it done. These guys are feeding off each other, though, now. You see everybody's going a little bit bigger and a little bit higher now. So that's what BMX is all about, was when you see your friend go and do something real good, you want to go in there and do something real good, and that's exactly what these guys are doing. All
right, we're down to our final 3 qualifiers from the semifinals, and all 3 of these guys are on the outside of the top 3 looking in. This is Logan Martin.
Logan Martin with a backflip tail whip. He wanted something else there, but into a triple tail whip, into a front flip tail whip. Now, this is perfect execution. So, depending on the DOD score, which is the degree of difficulty, we'll see if this guy moves up. Man, that was very good run.
And he had the slip up on that front flip tail whip in the first run.
He wanted something else on that back flip tail whip to something. It was going to be something. So then he did a triple tail whip instead on that second set.
I went quad. That was 4 times around. That was a quad whip.
Oh my God.
A quad whip into a front flip tail whip. Are you kidding me,
We might just saw our new leader right now.
We've already had a couple of lead changes here.
This quad whip.
It's insane. It happens so fast.
Oh my God.
9.22 or better. He gets an 8.82. So that'll bump Sandoval out of the top 3. Put Logan Martin in second. So now it's Walker, Martin, and Colborn with 2 riders left to go. This is Nick Bruce, your second place qualifier out of yesterday's semis.
Needs a massive score. Nick Bruce coming out of Ohio. I never met anybody from Ohio I didn't love. 360 backflip no-hander. Oh my goodness. This guy, what is he doing? Look at him, he's made of bricks, this guy. He takes the hardest slam you've seen all day, and just no big deal for him.
You have to see the slow-mo what happened on that last hit.
Tuck no-hander, no problem. Lands perfect speed and does a triple tail or double tail backflip into...
Did he try to windshield wiper that back?
He tried to do a 360 double tail whip to windshield wiper back.
That's insane.
The last second. That was so big. Man, Nick Bruce. This kid is the future. Watch out for this kid.
Well, he's not going to bump up there, obviously, with the fall, so that brings our top qualifier out of the semis here. Will he be able to overtake the lead from Colton Walker? That's a pretty high score. He's looking at a 9.22. So here we go. This is the final run here for BMX Triple Hit. This is Brandon Lupos out of Australia.
Brandon Lupos doing a double tail backflip, no problem. Into a 1083. Oh my gosh, 3 spins on the second set, no problem. Lands a little bit long and just couldn't get that front wheel down. I would have loved to see what was going to go down on that third set.
How crazy is that? We talked about progression. Guys are doing 1080s, which used to be a finisher trick, and they're doing it in the middle of their runs.
Man.
So let's check in with the third member of our crew, Lorette Nickel, who's down there on the floor with our winner. Lorette, they're going to run 5 different times out here tonight, throwing down some insane progressive tricks, and it's your best 3 runs total together tonight that'll hopefully get you at the highest point on that podium.
Yeah, take everything that you know about BMX and throw it right out the window, because this is a whole new sport. These guys are doing it on a resi mat, which makes it a little safer, but not quite safe enough. Triple backflip for breakfast. What do you think about that?
James Foster starts the party off with 3 complete rotations upside down in a row, a triple backflip, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, like I said, the resi is progression. with safety. And this guy just sends a triple backflip. Make no mistake about it. This guy messes up, we have broken bones. This guy landed it perfect. Nice work.
He's a regular on this tour, and that is his stock and trade. This is what he does best. And look at that score right there. A 9.37 to start us off. The best possible run score you can get out here tonight is a 10 as we bring in Colton Satterfield, Salt Lake City, Utah local.
Local boy going for the big hit, too. Nice big double backflip no-hander. The first rotation, he had no hands. Second rotation, just tucked it in sweet. Landed perfect rotation. Doing it from Mira. I love that.
Did you see how slow the rotation was in the double?
Big no-handed backflip to backflip. Just awesome. Landed perfectly. They have those pink lines across the landings so that they know exactly where they should be landing.
Okay, slight different strategy difference here from the BMX event we saw earlier. It's not best run counts. It's your 3 best runs out of 5. You take those 3 best runs and total them together. Another Utah native in the mix here. This is Gavin Godfrey.
This kid just started riding BMX bikes a couple months ago, so this is air awareness at its best. Backflip, tail whip to backflip. This kid is one of the staples in the Nitro Circus Tour, and all of a sudden he decided he wanted to pick up a BMX bike and send it. So that right there tells you, look, he doesn't even have a clue where the pedals are. He just rides it out on the seat. So that, like, his air awareness is so great, and his toughness is so solid that he can just ride away on a BMX bike, no problem. See what he can do.
And it looked like he barely dabbed his feet right there. You get a half a point deduction for execution for each foot that touches the mat. We'll have to see, we'll have to take the score there. So a 7.36. So you're getting a 1 to 10 execution score multiplied by your DOD, which is your degree of difficulty score, as we bring in Jay Toohey.
Jay Toohey, one of my favorites. Triple tail whip backflip. This kid is one of my favorites. He's got a million great stories, and he's a solid kid in the BMX world, so he's got my heart right there. Backflip, triple tail whip, count of 1, 2, 3 as they come around, finds the pedals perfect, and just, he could have hit another set. He landed that so smooth right there, Jimmy.
Look at that, 3 times around with the frame of the bike while upside down and rides out of that butter clean. James Foster sitting in the top spot right now with a 9.37. So Jay Toohey will check in with a 7.25. Andy Buckworth, another regular. He's one of the OG members of the Nitro Circus Tour out of Lake Haven, Australia.
Yeah, he's going for the big kicker right here out of the gate. Going for a triple backflip as well. Lands it perfect. Butter, no problem. Too easy. These guys are just killing this course right now.
You see 2 of those here in the opening round. This is the opening round of 5. Keep that in mind.
Triple backflips are not, you got to stay in the hallway. You call it staying in the hallway, because if you get off kilter just a little bit, you're going to knock your bike out of whack and you're going to crash it. If that's a wrap for you.
All right, judges thought it was a better execution. Him and James Foster did the same trick, but Andy Buckworth in the top spot as we bring in Curtis Downs for his first of 5.
Triple backflip.
Man.
Triple tail whip backflip right there.
Look at that reaction. He is fired up.
Let's count
hugs
these.
Travis
1,
Estrada.
2, 3.
Look
Catch
at where
the
his
pedals
legs
right there.
are.
Catch the pedals, catch the pedals. Yes. Look at that. Could have went to the next set. That was incredible.
Now, these riders have submitted a trick list to the head judge. So they have to do the tricks that they've submitted to the head judge. They do get 1 wild card. They do get 1 option of changing up the line. This was our 2nd place qualifier on the semifinals. This is Brandon Schmidt.
Brandon Schmidt going for a triple backflip. Like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm seeing guys do triple backflips.
We've seen 3 of those here in the opening round, TJ.
I mean, a triple backflip is not an easy trick to do. These guys are going off the big super kicker, triple backflip, and landing perfectly.
Yeah, and this guy comes in, and he hasn't been riding that long. He's actually comes from a snowboarding background, so that'll slide him into 3rd place position there. So our top 3 guys all executing triple backflips, and the difference in the scores basically comes down to how the judges feel that they executed the trick. And speaking of execution, this guy right here, Ryan Williams, he is a trick machine that is known for execution.
Now that's like a bike flip, but it's
a forward bike flip.
Yeah, it's like a forward bike flip with a front flip. So that's like a whole new invention of bike flip coming from the scooter world, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's insane. He's competed in 2 events out here tonight.
Right, so I mean, you're bringing in the scooter tricks on a BMX bike, which is insane. And like
dial that one in. So that forward bike flip, front flip will get him an 8.46. But that's round 1 out of. Back to Rice. Cycle Stadium here in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the first ever, the inaugural Nitro World Games, set to start run number 2 out of 5 here for BMX Best Tricks, presented by Be The Match. This is James Foster.
That looked like a bar spin flip to tail whip.
Well, he's sitting in number 2 position right now by virtue of his first run. It's your best 3 out of your 5 runs that are totaled together. That's going to hopefully get you on that Nitro Circus podium out here tonight.
I love to see the Colton Satterfield Mira shirt, man. That looks nice.
Yeah, paying homage to Dave Mira, BMX legend that we lost earlier this year. We've got our host Travis Pastrana down there on the floor. He's going to help us out with some of the calls here tonight in BMX Best Tricks. So we await Colton Satterfield's second run out of 5. Remember, it's your best 3 runs total together out here tonight. Best individual run score you can get is a 10.
Local boy, Colton Satterfield. He's no stranger to these big ramps either. He's not even close to afraid.
Man, you should hear the crowd right here absolutely going nuts. Local boy in the house. I mean, they got Gavin, they got Colton, and they are on their feet when he's about to drop in.
Yeah, it's the energy's insane out there. You know, we're up here inside the broadcast booth, but I mean, you can just hear the roar from the fans when these guys fire off some of these insane tricks. Let's see what Colton brings to the party here for run 2.
Front flip, tail whip to no-hander.
So 3 tricks in one there. One of the things he's known for, putting together multiple moves into one trick.
Very, very clean. The execution was perfect. Right there, he gets to front flip, tail whip, to no-hander, perfect. Lands nice with the back wheel. Doesn't get out of shape at all. Just looks perfect. Man, he could have rode that right into dinner. I loved it.
We mentioned in round 1, the degree of difficulty for these tricks has been predetermined, and all of these riders have submitted their list to only the head judge and the sport owner. The judges don't know, and they're just judging on a scale of 1 to 10 here on execution, multiplied by your degree of difficulty score, or what we say DOD. So when you hear that tonight, that is what we mean as we bring back in Gavin Godfrey, another local boy.
Now, believe it or not, Gavin Godfrey is a beginner. This is a beginner BMX rider. Like, this kid doesn't ride BMX. He comes from the mountain bike world. He decided, you know what, I can do this. I have air awareness, and he hucks a triple front backflip, no problem.
Speaking of the triple flip, he was the first to do that in the mountain bike world. I believe that was 2 years ago. He's also the 2012 Utah State Wrestling Champion, and decided he would try to wrestle that triple flip right there here in run number 2.
You know, I've never seen these guys have so much fun as they are in this contest, and right now, Tui dropping in with a huge smile.
Whoa, tail whip back. So that's a windshield wiper backflip. Did I see that correctly, Jimmy?
We'll have to see on slow-mo. It looked like it at real-time speed, but there you go.
Tail whip, catch it.
Yep.
Oh, no, tail whip,
catch tail whip.
Same way. That's beautiful. That's what's so cool about these ramps. Is like Travis said, they're having fun. It wasn't something like, oh my gosh, if I don't make this, I'm done. It's let's just give it a go. Let's see what's possible. Let's see what we can invent.
And that's the thing. I mean, you look at that landing ramp right there and you think, okay, that's not your typical ramp. That resi mat right there, it allows these guys to do some of these mind-blowing and progressive tricks. And if they fall, they still have the ability to get up and keep riding as we bring back in Andy Buckworth.
And you saw him preload that. You saw him preload, get ready for that rotation. Like right before that lip, you see him go down to his handlebars. All right, this is going to be a yank. And he yanked it so hard because he's going backflip Superman.
Look at the extension on that.
Keep the rotation going.
See his knees bump the crossbar?
And sends another backflip right there. And unfortunately, he missed his right foot. So he might get a little deduction, but that was a great trick.
Yeah,
nice work.
As I mentioned in round 1, it's a 0.5 deduction for each foot that you dab. So if you hit both feet, the most you can take off is a point. So 7.61. Now remember, of these 5 runs, it's your 3 best total together. When we did triple hits earlier, it was your best run that counts. You need 3 out of 5 here tonight. And another caveat we haven't mentioned, there's a super kicker out there, and you have to hit that ramp at least once. And you can see by that vantage point right there, it is a packed house out here tonight at the Rice-Eccles Stadium.
And you guys are actually seeing these triple backflips, these huge combinations are the warm-up tricks or the baselines to get these guys settled down. Curtis Downs right here, triple backflip.
Yeah, Curtis Downs doing the triple backflip, no problem. He ended up getting around to the wheels, but unfortunately he just couldn't hang on.
Wow, They're just going for broke on the triples.
And it's mind-boggling. And the reason these guys have so much guts to go for stuff like this is because we are on this resi. So it's innovation with safety. You understand?
Exactly. Brandon Schmidt, we mentioned this earlier, comes from a snowboarding background. He's one of those guys who said, you know what, I'm going to get out here and try to do this stuff on a bike.
No one does that. No one does that. A backflip, tail whip to backflip, and then he goes into the bag, comes back, and backflips for the fans. I love it.
That's a snowboarder, guys. I have to tell you, this guy comes through with so much passion, so much flair. I am so proud of this man right here. Schmitty throwing down. He just learned that in practice. He is on fire.
A backflip, tail whip to backflip. That is insane. Like these kids, these guys don't ride normal jumps. Like they would not ride the trails at 10 or anything like that. These guys ride here. That's what they do. They ride the Nitro Circus. They ride the big air ramps, and that's about it. And then all of a sudden comes out here and kills it.
Well, you combine those two scores together, you get to 7.59, so that'll slide him up into second place. You'll see the names jumping around quite a bit on the leaderboard here because you need 3 scores total together. So as these guys get their second rounds, you'll see the names jumping around quite a bit. This is Ryan Williams.
What was that? What is that? That was like a snowboard trick. Like, what are you doing right there?
Our Willie has so much to prove. He comes from a scooter background. And when everyone said, you can't do it on a bicycle, he jumps on a bicycle, 720 front flip, spots the landing the whole way through. This guy is unbelievable.
A 720 front flip. I mean, that's insane.
Look at what his body's doing right here in the rotation on this trick.
I personally would call that a corked out 7 because I don't really know, but man, the rotation was nuts.
He kind of had that wild flat spin rotation, but with a 9.03, and that puts him in the top spot. So at the end of 2 rounds, it's Williams, Buckworth, and Schmidt. To see some madness go down on bikes, on boards, on blades, and scooters. And here's how we stand here as we get set to start round number 3 out of 5 here for BMX Best Tricks presented by Be The Match. It's Ryan Williams, a.k.a. R. Willie, who's already got a win in scooter from earlier tonight, sitting in that top spot, followed by Andy Buckworth and Brandon Schmitz. But here we go, back to the top of the order once again. It's James Foster.
Dropping in James Foster coming from the dirt world. Backflip bar spin to double tail whip. And never in our wildest dreams would we think we would see something like this go down, and James Foster just getting it done. Backflip bar spin to double tail whip. Unfortunately, touched a couple times and almost crashed, but he rode it out because that BMX background let him hold on.
Well, he'll still get a score for that, for riding out of that, even though he dabbed a foot. Not sure where there's a little bit of grade in there, whether you'll get a 2-point deduction if you get it to the wheels and ride out a bit and then come off, or if that would just be a 1-point deduction for dabbing both of the feet. But here we go. Once again, Colton Satterfield.
Colton Satterfield, bar spin backflip, double tail whip. He liked what he saw. He said, you know what, I'm going to get it out and go too.
I think he saved it with that foot. That foot slipped off the pedal, but I don't think it dabbed the ramp. We'll have to see the replay here. Colton's currently sitting in 6th right now. Again, 5 runs for these riders. It's your best 3 runs total together is what you're looking for tonight.
Bar spin backflip, catches the bars, spins the bike around twice, barely slipped the pedal, but did not.
That foot did not touch.
Did not touch.
So he will not get a half-a-point deduction for that. So right now he's got 2 respectable scores. The 7 and the 6 range there. So looking for that 5 to be the dropout score. Your 3 best total together out here tonight. Gavin Godfrey, he has been on fire out here this evening, TJ.
Gavin Godfrey going for the big kicker. He wants that triple backflip.
And he gets it.
Perfect landing. This kid is unbelievable. He coming from the Godfrey clan. It's just unbelievable that a kid can ride a BMX bike for a few months and decide he's going to enter the biggest contest that we've ever had.
His Uncle Greg is one of the Nitro Circus pioneers. His dad was a professional motorcycle racer. Mom was a professional skier, so he's got sports lineage in the blood.
He's got a lot of air awareness. You can see his air awareness as he's coming around. He's always looking for that landing.
Getting a high 5 from Travis Pastrana. Look at that score, 9.25. Where does that slides him up 2 spots. He was in 7th, he moves into 5th, and the key there, everybody has to use that super kicker at least once, and he did that triple flip off of that super kicker as we bring back to Jay Toohey.
Oh man, Jay's got something in mind.
Oh no.
What? Oh my gosh. You see him pedal down that roll-in? He pedaled down the roll-in, and I was like, where's he going with this? And then all of a sudden, he goes off the super kicker, and that was like something that look how high he is. 1, 2. He looks like a motorcycle up there.
That super kicker is so poppy and spins you up so high over the knuckle of that landing. And like you said, he pedaled down to give a crank coming down the roll-in.
He just ran out of landing. I don't know. We'll see what the judges say for that.
That'll be his lowest score of the night, obviously due to the fall. But again, you get 5 attempts. It's your best 3 that are totaled together. That is Andy Buckworth, who right now is sitting 1 spot out of the podium. He is in 4th position as of right now. We've seen some big things out of him tonight. What's he going to put down in round number 3?
I don't know. This kid coming out of Australia, I love Andy Buckworth. He's a staple in the Nitro Circus Tours, and all of a sudden he goes a front flip no-hander to front flip. He's been doing this trick for years. That's no problem for him. So I hope he gets a big score from the judges, because I've seen him do that for years, but you know what? So clean.
Look at how he tucks into the bars.
Perfect tuck no-hander, a la Anthony Napo. Just giving it all you got.
Just rides out of that one cleanly. Now the judges, they're working strictly off of execution, because all of these tricks have been pre-assigned a degree of difficulty. As mentioned before, the riders have submitted their tricks that they're going to do to the head judge. So there's that degree of difficulty score, which is working off a decimal point. So all 5 of our judges, they're basically just judging off of execution. Then those numbers are multiplied by that degree of difficulty.
Curtis Downs going for that big ramp. Triple backflip, no problem. Man,
Those things are coming out so consistently tonight.
can you imagine getting on the ramp and be like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send a triple backflip, no problem.
Off that super kicker, look how poppy this gets, TJ.
1, 2, as he's coming around on the second one, you see him look for that landing?
Muscling it.
I got enough time. All right, sweet. Pulls it off perfect. Now, we would never see something like this be done if we didn't have these ramps. I can't stress to you enough how much these ramps affect these people's mindset.
9.29, a huge score. And by the way, if you're keeping tabs at home, that was your 5th triple backflip of just this event. Brandon Schmidt coming your way. Oh, what's
This guy! What is this guy doing? Every single time he goes down the ramp, it's a new invention. I don't even know what is going on. I don't know what to call that, but I like it.
After every run, he does the gladiator move. He just looks up at the crowd, throws the arms up.
He don't even know what he's doing. I don't even think he has a clue what he's going to do. That's like, you just call that a 720 front flip, something, whippersnapper. You know, I don't know what he is.
That might be the Aussie roll that he's got submitted on his trick list right there, because I'd have to see that a few more times in slow-mo to fully understand what's going on there.
Well, I know it's a 2.97, so you better get it together, man. This guy's, that's unbelievable that he's doing stuff like that out there.
R. Willie already has himself a win over in Scooter earlier tonight. What's he got on tap for us?
What? He's just going to let go of the bike and then catch it. Perfect. That was unbelievable. I used to do that trick on a trampoline with no wheels when I was a kid. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, this will be sweet. That was the complete never happened trick. Never in a million years would I think I would see that trick done at a competition perfect like that. That was unbelievable.
Look at how far away he is from the pedals, and look how vertical the bike is, how front and heavy that is.
That was so sick. There's no way that should be done on a bike. No way. That was amazing.
All right, he's in 5th pre-run. Remember, we're
9.38.
We're putting these 3 best scores together, and
Yes.
9.38, that's
Yes.
the best one of the night. That puts him
That was
in
so
first place
sick.
as a... Well, we have you to thank for this, because this is your baby, this is your brainchild, and we've seen some amazing progression and evolution out here tonight. As we've been said a couple times here tonight, TJ, it's innovation with safety by virtue of this Resi ramp. So here we go, we're into round number 4 out of 5. Once again, it's James Foster.
James Danger Foster, this kid, oh my gosh, backflip tuck no-hander to backflip tail whip. That is like, that video game stuff out here, Jimmy. This is video game stuff.
You can see by the body language right there, he's a little frustrated by that one. James is sitting in 8th place as of right now. So that bump him up. He moves up to 6 right now. Again, it's your best 3 out of your 5 runs. That's our total together out here. Your top 3 as of right now, it's Williams, Buckworth, and Satterfield. Speaking of Satterfield, here comes Colton Satterfield right now.
Yeah, Colton Satterfield, a local boy, doing a tuck.
Whoa!
Tuck 360 no-hander. That was so sick. Tuck 360 flip no-hander, rather, to late bar spin. Loved it. Tuck 360 no-hander, perfect extension. Coming around sweet, decides, go ahead and throw those bars. Lands perfect. Nice execution on those lines. Man, he's good to go.
That was super execution.
That was
on the
awesome.
no-handed part of that. You see him again representing the Dave Mirra shirt, representing for the great Dave Mirra. Lost
on the
earlier
podium
this year. So Colt Satterfield, he's in a podium spot as of right now, sitting in third. Can he hang on to that?
This is a good time, Gavin Godfrey. Here we go.
Hard charging here tonight.
Oh, what is going on with this guy?
Off axis,
That is
double backflip.
360 double backflip. Oh my gosh, what is this kid doing? That is some air awareness that we've never had in the BMX world. Like, no one does that stuff. Like, 360 double backflip. Keep it coming. Like, what is that?
Look at the back tire goes down. You see that pink line on the mat? That's the sweet spot right there at the knuckle of the landing.
Looking at what's going on. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He's excited about that
I
one.
cannot believe the execution was perfect. The
Look how
kids are
stoked that
stoked.
kid is.
Everybody's hanging loose. This kid is nuts.
All right, so he dropped that 3.57 that he had in run number 2. So that slide up too. The Godfrey slides up. He was 5th pre-run. That slides him up into 2nd. So now it's Williams, Godfrey, and Buckworth as we bring back in Australia's Jay Toohey.
Jay Toohey doing it for the BMXers. Really big.
And there's our 6th triple backflip of this event, TJ.
Yeah, but that triple backflip right there was like 150 feet off the lip.
Off
Did you
of that
see him
super
pedal
kicker.
down the rim? Dude, this guy, man, this going huge. Jay Toohey going huge, overshooting everything, and this, man, that was amazing. So big. Looking up his landing, coming back around, landing perfectly.
Look how far he's leaning forward on that. Has to dab. The left foot dabbed a little bit. We talked about it a couple times. You get a half a point deduction for each foot that made dab. But again, he had a 3.76 from round 3, so he drops that out. So that'll help out his cause quite a bit there. It's your best 3 runs total together. They're hopefully going to get you on that Nitro World Games podium here. Andy Buckworth sitting in 3rd as of right now.
I think he was going for a tuck no-hander on that second flip. So these are, yeah, he was going to go flip to tuck no-hander, flip to flip, which is, I can't even believe we're saying this, but
Yeah.
that was a triple backflip with a backflip no-hander in the middle of that
When I saw
situation.
the submitted trick list, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And now that
Yeah.
we're seeing this live tonight on television, it's blowing my mind.
I put the trick list on Snapchat, and I was like, yeah, right.
It's hard to process, man. There's a lot going on. Curtis Downs out of Idaho Falls, Idaho, currently sitting in 8th place. What does he bring to the party in this 4th round?
Oh! Big, huge backflip to backflip no-hander. So there's a double backflip with a backflip tuck no-hander on the second backflip, which is beautiful. He pedaled down the rolling, so I knew that was going to be big. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. There's a backflip tuck, was it? What was that?
Backflip, tuck, no-hander to backflip.
Was it a backflip to backflip tuck no-hander, or was it the other way?
He did the tuck no-hander the first rotation, then rotated one more time around. So he drops that 3.32. That'll give him a total of 23.77. Again, the best possible overall score you can have would be a 30. Best possible single run score you can get is a 10 out here. It's your 3 best runs total together is what we're looking at. But it's Williams, Godfrey, and Buckworth in those top 3 spots. 2 riders left to go here in round 4 out of 5. This is Brandon Schmidt.
Schmidt dropping in. Superman backflip to backflip. He almost pulled it off perfect. Unfortunately, he had a little bit too much heat coming in that second flip. Looped out, but that's all right because we're on a resi show. He doesn't get hurt, and he can still go on his final round. See that? Man,
That is wild. I mean, you're a super flip and then trying to backflip out of that as well.
yeah, that was a very, very good. And you know what? That was his safety run. So.
All right, Ryan Williams, he took the top spot at the end of round number 3. Let's send it up once again with Travis for a call here.
This is so awesome to see our Willie dropping in, scooter rider, and he is leading the BMX contest with a 1080 front flip. That is not possible on a bicycle. Crowd is just going bananas. This kid has stuck all of his jumps.
That's impossible. No BMX rider would ever even think that was possible, ever.
The stadium is erupting right now. This is the most exciting contest I've ever seen. I am just pumped for our Willie and everybody that are throwing down such huge tricks. Look at this. How do you even know where you're going?
You don't. That's what you don't. You don't know where you're going. You just send it, and that's the huck and pray, and he got it, man. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, man. He was already in the lead, and then he throws a 1080 front flip into the mix here. Let's see what this goes for. That, I believe that is the highest single run score we've seen tonight with a 9.74. He did a 1080 front flip.
Yeah, you can't deny talent. That kid's got a lot of it. Here's the massive backflip, the backflip tail whip. Double, man, that's so huge. This kid's trying to do backflip to backflip tail whip.
This is the 5th and final round here. That was James Foster. Foster currently down in 8th place position. There's Colt Satterfield up on top of the rolling. He's currently in 6th place right now. Again, it's your 3 best scores that are totaled together.
He needs a 7.81 for 5th place to move up. Let's see what he got. What? Downside tail whip backflip?
It all happens.
That's a downside tail whip backflip. That is unbelievable. Look at that downside tail whip. I think it was a downside tail whip backflip, but I'm not positive because you know what? They don't make books like, hey, this is what this is. You really kind of got to ask the guy because that was insane. I've only been in BMX for 20-something years. I never even see something like that.
It's absolutely mind-blowing what is going on here tonight. It's so hard to process this stuff at real-time speed. Take a look back up top. That's Gavin Godfrey getting ready to come your way. He's currently sitting in 2nd place as of right now.
Takes a crank, going for the transfer. Superman secret backflip. That was a party. I love this kid.
He took off from one of the skateboard ramp roll-ins.
Yeah,
traveled across the gap to the landing on the BMX side.
Yeah, BMX legend Cam White used to do this at the X Games. Transfer, big Superman secret backflip. I mean, this is not supposed to be done by somebody that was only been riding for a few months. I mean, this is insane.
And you're traveling from riders left to right, and he probably traversed about a good 20-plus feet across that gap right there. He's still sitting in the podium spot as of right now. It's Williams, Godfrey, and Buckworth, your top 3 as of right now. This is the 5th and final round here. Jay Toohey currently sitting in 5th. He fired off a triple backflip.
These guys feed off each other. These guys feed off each other for sure. And did you just see what I saw? That was a Superman secret backflip to backflip after pedaling down that rolling. That was huge.
How in the world do you get the rotation to do a backflip variation and then come around and do another flip?
You have enough speed. That's how you do it. This kid pedaled down the drop. Look at that. Oh, it's Indian air. Indian air backflip to backflip. That was amazing.
Goodness. That is absolutely insane. So it's still Williams, Godfrey, and Buckworth, the top 3. We've got 4 here tonight, but 4 riders left to go. It's still up for grabs. Andy Buckworth coming down the rolling, currently sitting in 3rd place, TJ.
Andy Buckworth. Triple backflip. Oh!
Trying to get the hands off there.
Yeah, he was trying to take his hands off on that 2nd rotation. Breakdance is up, looking good.
That was bonkers. I saw a little bit of daylight there between the gloves and the grips, trying to take the hands off of that triple flip.
Yes, sir.
All right, so he's in a podium spot as of right now with 3 riders left to go. Curtis Downs, he's sniffing on the edge of the podium. He's 1 spot outside, getting a hug from Catfish, one of our live event MCs right there. What is he going to bring to the party here in this 5th and final run?
Needs an 8.5 for 2nd place.
So we see on our ISX scoring graphics here tonight. Here we go, Curtis Downs.
A quad whip backflip. The first time that's ever been done. I don't even think it's done on a video game, bro. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Never been done before. That was 4 times around.
I think so. I think so. 1.
Got him out.
2, 3, 4. A quad whip backflip. This guy just landed perfect pedals. Quad whip backflip. That has never been done. I guarantee you that's the first time we've ever seen anything like that. That was amazing. Amazing.
Look at where his feet wound up on the crank arms right there. Colt Satterfield is in complete and total disbelief. He gets an 8.53. Oh, that slides him up to 2nd. Andy Buckworth gets bumped out of the top 3, so now it's Williams, Downs, and Godfrey, your top 3. And there's our current leader saying, just give him props. He's bowing to that one right there. I cannot even process the things that we were seeing out here tonight, TJ.
That was unbelievable. Man, so
Oh,
man, that was crazy.
come on. And there's still 2 more riders left to go. This is Brandon Schmidt.
Brandon Schmidt trying to Superman backflip to backflip.
He crashed on that one earlier, gets it here.
Needs an 8.47 to get up into second place. We'll see what he has.
He's in 7th as of right now, as we see on our scoring graphic there.
He'll have a throwaway run, though. Come on, man.
Yeah, but, you know, gotta give the guy props for coming back and trying this
Big
one again.
Superman backflip to backflip. Just perfect. Catches the pedal, spots the landing, still sends it. The air awareness on these guys is unbelievable.
So you see the feet come off the pedals and he dabs them on the landing there, so that would be a full point deduction. You get a half-point deduction for each foot that dabs right there. And yeah, he gets that low score thrown out, so that'll add to his overall total right there. And that moved him up. Into 5th place right there. So with 1 rider left to go, our podium is set, and that means TJ Lavin, this is a victory lap for our Willie.
Our Willie, man, this guy is a party.
What? Come on!
He does a triple front flip off the super kicker. No matter what you think, I've been in BMX a long time, and I've never seen a kid just come at it like this with so much heart. You have to really respect what this kid is doing.
What an amazing night that young man has had. Let's check in now with Laurent Nickel, who's down there with our Willie.
And there's a look at your start list, and big hitters, of course. We've seen some incredible things. And the Nitro World Games, one thing about the progression is the way the landings are set up, especially during the practice sessions, it gives the riders the ability to do things that maybe they wouldn't try under normal circumstances.
Well, we've been watching practice for the last couple days here. There's been big airbags on a couple of the landings and some resi landings for these guys so that they could get very comfortable with the tricks that they're going to throw tonight. So there's progression and innovation in a very safe way. So far, so good. Everybody is still standing. Everybody's still riding. And you know what? It's really going to bring something new to the Nitro World Games here tonight.
Absolutely, and you're getting a good look at Libor Podmal from the Czech Republic. And this is the new graphic you're going to have to get used to at first, but you are going to love as you start to understand it. Now, he is your first rider out, so you are going to get to see his trick score on each trick as he does his first right side up trick, Andy.
Cliffhanger, no-handed lander there for Libor.
And you'll get the trick score, and then his total will start to accumulate as you see another right side up trick. Great variations for Libor, of course, fresh off a gold medal at the step up. And I know that his excitement about riding has been strong. He's been working hard on his training sessions. Now, the whip is something that is mandatory inside the run.
It is mandatory. It's a turn down. It has a degree of difficulty. Our degree of difficulty is from 1 for double backflip all the way down to 0.5 for a heel clicker. Turn down is 0.78, so we're going to have to just get used to looking at these graphics for the first couple guys here.
Oh, yeah, going upside down with a great variation.
And that is, let's take a replay here and see if we can break that down. That is the 120-foot kicker. Libor gets upside down. Very nice no-footed can. Lands perfectly.
Speaking of no-footed cans, you were good at that back in the early 2000s, right?
Hey.
Now what do we have? We have a side saddle takeoff for Libor.
And this looks like he's setting up the Cali roll here. And
the body variation comes in for Libor.
And I was looking down at our degree of difficulty as that happened, so you're going to have to cover for me there, Cam.
A 0.91 out of a possible 1 for degree of difficulty. The judges will score on a 1 to 10 on execution. As we take a look, Libor over the big jump over the middle, double heel click.
On the 120, so that is a 0.89 degree of difficulty for that. We're going to see the judges come in at 8.58. So he executed almost perfectly is what that is saying.
I would agree with the judges, which doesn't always happen. As we get a variation, a super can flip, grabbing and throwing the feet off the side. And Libor, as you see, not rushing. It's not time. He is setting up, and the judges need time to input their score. So there's always a possibility also as we go combination. He goes to the front of the bike and then the back of the bike.
To Superman Indian Air flip. And this is the cool thing right now is you're right. There is no time. We're on trick of 8 and 10. The judges, this has never been done with this ISX scoring system here. They are scoring every single trick as he pulls out a big cliffhanger flip, 0.92 on our degree of difficulty. So that's really getting high up there. Here, let's check it out. Locks his feet in. I love when they straighten out at the hips like right there. They don't don't put the handlebars at their knees. They're actually getting his handlebars down mid-shin. Really, really good execution, 8.99.
Last jump for Podmall.
Oh, the bull.
Goes for the
And he
bull.
lands it.
Clean.
Lands it clean. He landed a little deep in the landing, so maybe he's not going to be perfect, but a 0.92 on the scale here. And, wow, hey, if there's a good way to end a run, it's with a volt, right, Cam?
Right, and I think the natural look and feel of the Volt is there's a little bit of that uncertainty because he's going around looking for the grab. Take a
Check
look.
it out. He steps off the side of the motorcycle, does a full 360 off the side, and not as smooth as we may see a couple other guys do it tonight, but I've personally never seen Libor do the Volt, so this is a newer trick for him. And I remember, we're here at Nitro World Games, I remember Travis and I and Kevin Windham trying that trick about 12 years ago at Kevin Windham's house. So I know, and we were doing it on about a 4-foot step up. So to do it over a 75-foot gap, I can't even imagine that.
Talk about the pressure of one and done. There's only one run for freestyle. We are going to see the best trick later presented by Monster Energy, but now into his one and only run is Josh Sheehan, who is quickly becoming one of the mainstays, one of the heroes of the sport of freestyle motocross.
Josh, he's won the championship on the X-Fighters World Tour. Starts off with the cliffhanger, was looking for the no-handed lander, but he was a little deep. Something we need to talk about, we haven't talked about yet, is the altitude here in Salt Lake City. We're just over 4,600 feet right here. The bikes are really running slow. Big old school. Speaking of Kevin Windham, that's kind of a K-Dub whip there.
It did look like a Kevin whip.
And it's something that he's really been working on. And yeah, run us through this graphic here, Cam. This is a new one.
This is what he needs to lead on the right bottom, 8.28. And you'll see as his score comes in, it will give you the total for Josh on top compared to where Libor is. As we take a look at the replay,
all right,
I'm going to say that's pretty solid.
Lazy boy flip, almost as good as it gets, because to get perfect execution, you want your helmet back right at the rear fender, straight legs, straight arms. So very, very good.
So he has surpassed where Podmall was at this time. So he is on pace to take the lead, goes to the side saddle lander. He needed a 6.75 on that particular trick to maintain pace. Here it comes. So now he's dropped back and didn't receive the score he was looking for as he rotates with the heel clicker.
360 heel clicker there, and which should have a really good degree of difficulty, 0.92.
And he would need, as you see, here comes the score. Now he's falling behind where Podmall is. Now he needs an 8.51 with a giant double grab backflip. That's going to put some score on the board. Degree of difficulty, an 0.87. Whew, this is a close one to move to the lead.
This is a lot of math right now, but the cool thing is we can see exactly where he's going. Big combo there, the heel clicker to Superman backflip. Big, big trick.
And that was a 1.06 degree of difficulty.
That was on the 120-footer, which means he gets a bonus for doing it over the big gap.
And speaking of the big gap, you mandatory need to hit it one time, but you can hit it no more than 2 times. 360 knack.
Getting pretty flat there, not too bad. And Josh Yin, trick number 9.
And that's going to put him in that pace for the lead. He has the lead right now. Of course, Libor sitting on top. He needs a 6.59 here, Josh does. Double back.
Double back in the middle of his run. And, wow, I didn't even see the ramp sitting over there, actually, Cam. So
a 45-foot super kicker setup.
The double backflip is our highest degree of difficulty on our scale. It is a 1.
And he receives a 9.84. So in execution, the judges felt like he was nearly perfect on the hardest trick that you can put out there on degree of difficulty. Here's a good look at the Lazy Boy flip. It was only 1999 when Travis Pastrana first did this right side up.
Yeah, it's not too long ago. So very nice. And so the judges are actually going to be looking at, for their execution, they're looking at the overall performance and style of the trick, extension of the trick, the length of the hold of the trick. Look at that, perfection. That's execution right there.
Josh Sheehan is a beast.
The landing execution of the trick is actually really going to play in. And look at that, double backflip, stomps it down almost perfectly. The judges are going to look for both tires to touch down at the same time here, Cam.
It feels tough to dissect the double backflip. Maybe a little nose high, maybe a little long, but it was so beautiful and nearly perfect. The judges really love that as Travis comes out with a high 5. When we return to the Nitro World Games, we're going to...
Strong when he rides and throws that bike out. And speaking of strong, we got Harry Bink here on course.
And when I say you'll see it later, you're going to see Josh Sheehan in that best trick competition as Harry Bink from the Gold Coast of Australia takes the course. And he's riding with an injured left shoulder. It injured it previously in the foam pit, and today stretching popped it out. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that was a crazy story he told us earlier. Not good, but taking a look at where he sits right now, I mean, almost a dead heat so far.
Wow.
And a big turn down out of Bink. He gets past 90 degrees there.
Now his next jump, he's going to go to the 120-foot ramp. It's a seat grab indie flip with a difficulty of 1.06. This could be a massive score, and you can see he needs a 10.61 to take the lead or the pace for the lead.
Beautiful execution there. Stretches it out, leaves it out there, and doesn't rush through his trick here. As we take a look at this. Reaches back, gets sideways, Indian air. That's half attack style. That's how I do it, right side up. And then comes around, gets a perfect landing, both wheels down together. Execution judges obviously love it.
So close with the leader. Josh Sheehan goes for the right side up knack. Of course, we are working from a cursory group of tricks, as we talked about. 4 right side up, 4 upside down, and 2 that are optional.
Yeah, and one of those optional has to be over the 120, and it looks like he's going back for a second hit on the 120. And so heel clicker flip, and I kind of feel like he might have wanted a bigger combo than that, but still, hitting the 120 gives you a little bit of a boost on your degree of difficulty. Now he sits here, and he's on top.
He's sitting in the lead, or pace for the lead right now. He needs a 7.91 to maintain that. Double grab backflip. And so he's hitting the tricks. Now the rider chooses the tricks that he's going to hit. Each rider got a list of the degree of difficulty on all the tricks based on some of the judges' decisions on what the difficulty levels were. Then they could pick their tricks. And now he is going into the 75-foot ramp, goes for the combo.
Oh, that looks like a little bit of a Bilko combo there, I think.
And here comes the score. So you can see where he is in his run right now. He's actually trailing. He's at 10.89 to get back on pace on jump 9. Now, this is a 0.97 degree difficulty trick.
Rock solid backflip.
Not the greatest execution because he didn't get the arm span as far out, and the grab was very quick. I think that's part of what the judges are going to be looking at.
Yeah, I think that's going to knock him down a little bit, but still. So it gets a 9.0. He was at 0.97, and let's just check out looking in there. He just stays
maybe
a little
I was
tight.
a little too critical.
Yeah, well, it did feel like that. He's a little close to the bike, but still pretty solid score there. And then, whoa, front flip, no-hander, swan dive, absolutely perfect. First time we've seen that out there right now. Look at Sheehan. He's just like, what was that? And a little crazy here. We're going to have a little discussion here.
We're going to talk a little bit about this because you just saw amazing progression of the sport. No-handed front flip. It's a mechanical assist ramp, if you want to explain that a little bit.
It is. Well, there's a lot of discussion about this. I think, you know what? Let's let Mr. Travis Pastrana explain this a little bit. But
okay, so there you've seen it. Harry Bink. We talked about the mechanical assist. No one better to describe it than the legend himself, who's here with us, Mr. 199. Travis, can you take us through a little bit about what that mechanical assist ramp is all about?
Sorry, Andy. I'm over here talking. Crowd is going absolutely insane. Sitting with Bilko and Clint Moore. That is awesome. It helps give the riders a little extra pop. Doesn't make it any less dangerous, but absolutely awesome.
For sure, Travis. I mean, just seeing the front flip, you don't see it often, but to see something with a variation like that, that's part of what we're going to see at Best Trick a little bit later on, as right now, right side up trick from Javier Villegas.
no hand candy bar. I always called that the Pastrana because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of you, Travis, doing this. And look, he rolls in, side saddle takeoff here, whips it out into a big 9 o'clock knack.
Or flatliner.
A little bit flatliner style, little Dougie Parsons right there, one of our judges. So Looking really good for, I just have to call him Javi. He was giving me the gears a little earlier for not being able to roll my R's, but I'm Canadian. We don't roll our R's.
He was giving you a little bit of gas. And he says that back home in Chile, they send him text messages whenever you brutalize his name. Good whip. And now something about Javier is he's come through the injury train quite a bit over the years, starting back in 2013, and he really had to battle his way back through 14. Didn't have the tricks in 15, he didn't feel like, but in talking to him today, it seemed like he was switched on, feeling good. And I gotta say, in practice, he was pretty much as sharp as anybody.
He looks great, and Javi is one of those guys that has an excellent execution. Big hook upside down, back flip, heart attack. Look at it.
Look at the extension.
Back. Check it out. He's looking back through the handlebars.
Degree of difficulty 1.07, so way up on the, and here comes the score, and he is going to move.
That's our highest score we've seen, actually.
Right, and he's on pace. He is now in the lead at the same place Josh was in his run. Remember how Josh finished his run with the double backflip.
Yeah, that was really cool out of Javi. And let's point out the reason it was such a high score, it was on the 120-footer, so he got that little bit of a bonus on the degree of difficulty. He comes through Cordova backflip, lands perfectly, comes all the way around. Javi not struggling with the bike like some of these guys on two-strokes are right now. He's got enough power.
And with the degree of difficulty on that trick, it wasn't even a possibility for him to get to the score he needed to stay on pace for the lead. As we see now, he needs a 9.65 with his next trick, which is not possible based on the degree of difficulty. Even if he executes perfectly, he nails it pretty solid.
That's got to be in the 9.9 range for execution. Javi's definitely one of the guys that has that picture-perfect execution. He's kind of a littler dude, and he gets straight out and holds it a long time.
And we're going to see Javier go to the 120-foot jump once again. And then the combo.
Cordova to Superman.
It scares me because the way the bike is traveling and the way they're traveling with the Superman, it scares me because it feels like they're separating from the motorcycle.
Absolutely. The first time I actually saw him do that combo, I thought he was falling off. Absolutely.
And what we're going to see now is we're going to see something a little bit different. He's going to go with a surfer takeoff, kiss of death flip, Andy. Explain.
Okay, well, we were talking to him earlier. He was saying it's just so hard for him to get the right rotation on this trick. Oh, and he does it. I mean, can you imagine hitting one of these jumps on a motorcycle? Probably not for most of us.
Not for me.
Then do it standing on the seat. Look at that. And then do a flip and a Superman as you're doing it. That's just an absolutely insane combo.
And one of the things Javier says about that trick is that normally on the flips, you push through with your feet, and that particular way eliminates that, so it's all upper body. And late in the run, it's hard for him to do that, and he's able to pull through on it with a great execution.
Yeah, he said he'd much rather do that trick earlier when he's fresh, but just the way this contest works out, he had to do it as trick 9. And so, look at this, there it is again. And look, there's no real push. All he's doing is looking with his head to flip the 230-pound motorcycle all the way around.
And he was absolutely stoked as he moves into that third position, I believe, is what we're seeing with the score starting to drop. We're waiting for it. And right now, your top three, Josh Sheehan, Harry Bink, and Javier Villegas. As we saw a little bit earlier, Josh Sheehan with the double back, a front flip, progression is what we're talking about. From a look at one bad dude when it comes to freestyle motocross. Rob Adelberg from Australia. I'm not sure what they're putting in the water in Australia nowadays, Andy, but the Australians have really led the charge on the progression of the sport of freestyle.
Well, just looking at the start list here, Cam, there's more Australians than U.S. guys here. You're exactly right. What are they feeding them down there? As Adelberg wastes no time getting started with a cliffhanger, almost more of a Christ air to no-handed lander. That's actually the best first trick I've seen out of anyone so far.
Great execution. One thing that Adelberg's really known for is for his extension and for holding his tricks. Now, you need to know, Adelberg said he's been struggling a little bit with altitude. He was sick a couple days ago. And also you need to know that his hand is a little bit sore from pulling so hard for the flips because of the fact that he's at altitude not getting as much pop. As we looked at the score coming in for trick 3, you can see he's trailing behind the pace that Josh Sheehan put down.
Well, that was a nasty blister right between his thumb and his first finger, and he said that landing on that 120 is just killing him every time.
Here's a look at that big 120.
Nice.
Good extension.
Good extension. Cliffhanger flip over the 120 is a huge trick, and he holds it for a long time, straightens out the hips, gets his arms straight, and
almost scores perfectly on that. That was a huge score for him.
by far the biggest score we've seen all night.
Degree of difficulty on that 120 was a 1.15. As we take a look, you can see him pacing what he needs in the bottom right. An 8.61 gets a great Cordova backflip.
You see his bars twist pretty hard there as he came back, which was kind of weird. And Adelberg looking solid.
So right now, Sheehan, his pace is ahead of what Adelberg has been able to put down. This is going to be jump 7, and this should be the kiss of death flip.
And there it is, exactly. And excellent land, good extension, perfect landing there out of Adelberg. So that should be as near a 10 as you can get, I would think, for that trick.
Absolutely, and there comes the score. The judges disagree with you a bit.
At 8.3, but yeah, but it was
you're
a
right.
0.85, so 9.97.
Okay, you win this time, Andy.
Okay, I'll take it this one time.
A good look off the big jump. He goes for the pendulum flip, so no-footed can one way, comes through the other side for the no-footed can. The rider from Australia putting down a blistering pace, but right now it's not possible for him to take the lead with this jump because he needs 11.27, which of course is not possible based on what he's been able to achieve through the degree of difficulty here.
It gets pretty sideways. I mean, doing the pendulum, reminds me, that's a Tommy Clowers 1999 right there, but doing it upside down. And Adelberg, one more jump left, the Cali roll, so 0.90, and there's no way, it's not gonna be possible. No, not gonna be possible for him.
So right now we're looking at the scores. Adelberg looking for the crowd. This last jump, he's called the Cali roll, but the rider is allowed to have a variation added to it on this last jump. This is where, I'm sorry, this second to last jump. So this should be that pendulum flip based on what I'm seeing here, but I don't believe.
Oh, there's
yes,
the Cali
it is the
roll.
Cali roll. You're right, 10 to 10, no-handed lander.
And that is something that actually wasn't the no-handed lander without a bar check. I don't know what we're going to call that because the base jumper is a cliffhanger without a bar check to no-handed lander, but I've never seen anyone do that without checking the bars. Incredible finish for Adelberg.
Cliffhanger, look at the extension straight up and down underneath the motorcycle. He's a beast of a dirt bike rider.
Yeah, really, and there's that Cali roll. Takes off hanging on with his left hand onto the seat grab hole, and they're not checking the bars. Lands up, claims it, stomps it, and
9.35. And again, his score coming in, as we take a look at the leaderboard, is 78.07 is his total, which I thought the run was a little bit more solid than that. And let's bring in Travis Pastrana to help us call Adam Jones' run.
Is actually, sorry guys, Adam Jones, dark horse. I think he could definitely win this event. He is a veteran. He has every trick in the book, and he's got them all on lock. Maybe not your best trick guy, you know, like you saw the front flip and the double back, but there is not one trick that AJ does not do absolutely perfect. Sheehan, when he started this thing, he started off with some of the easier tricks that he just could not figure out. He did not do bar tricks. Adam Jones does not have that weakness. Huge whip right there, moto style. This is pretty good. He's got a little bit of a sore back. He's also riding a two-stroke, which is a very rare thing out here because it pulls the power from the altitude. So he's got a little bit more of a struggle to get these tricks off than some of the guys on the four-stroke motorcycles. How are you looking up there, Andy? What do you think of his score so far? Hitting the 120 right now.
he's hitting the 120, gets through it, the dead body flip, perfect execution, just like Adam does. And like you said, Travis, I agree with you. Adam could win because he's a perfectionist with his execution. And unlike some of the other guys who have the highest execution scores. Usually Adam is tall, he's long, but he is struggling with that sore back. He said he's been slamming it on tour over and over again. So yeah, I mean, whoa.
Nice.
Nice combination from Adam Jones. I have never seen him do that. I've watched him on tour all the time, looking over like, holy cow, I just landed that to no hands. He is going off, pulling everything he got. Cam?
He's got the pace. He is in the lead pace right now, and only needs a 5.77 to maintain that there, Travis. So you're spot on with the extension, and Adam has always been known as one of those riders who can really poke it out and show his height and extension.
Well, and an absolutely huge combo over the 120 again. Cordova to Superman flip, and that is a 1.07 on the degree of difficulty scale. Waiting for the score for that one right now, and I'm going to think that it's going to be in the mid-10s.
Definitely, it should be, but he has that sore back that hindered him a little bit. He is an older guy to be out here pulling these tricks as good. Huge extension! Oh, it's not holding him back right now.
What are you saying about older guys down there, Travis? You're creeping up there too, buddy.
Yeah, that's why I'm down here.
Yeah, it's good to have you on a microphone for once instead of being out there.
And we're taking a look at what Adam has been putting down. We're talking about great extensions. Right now we're letting the judging catch up because of how big and extended his tricks were. The judges were taking a second to put in that combo score.
He was actually swearing as he came across, so I think he was supposed to do something else on that jump. That's probably why Drake McElroy and the rest of the judges were a little bit confused. However, he is still on point, and I think as a veteran, he can come through, and he has a good chance of winning this contest.
Well, let's take a look back here a little.
This is what he called out on his 7th jump, the kiss of death flip. Look at him looking straight through. Huge extension. Absolutely nails it. We're waiting for that score to drop. And then, yeah, another look. Amazing. Travis, the difficulty of hanging below your motorcycle while rotating it has to be monumental.
No, you're just looking straight ahead. You're 35 feet over the ground. You have a 250-pound motorcycle over your head. I think he did his trick out of order, and that is what the problem is. But they're giving him a score, and it's pretty doggone good right now.
So for jump number 7, we're waiting for that score to pop in at 8.16. Keeps him on pace. And the judges are working to catch up. We talk about the format. It's very progressive, something totally different. The degree of difficulty has already been calculated. The judges, Andy, are only scoring on execution of that particular trick. It's a totally different mindset.
Totally different, but it's cool. It only gives them one thing to think about, and I really think that when this was brought up, look at double grab backflip. Excellent once again on the execution, and when Travis and crew have come up with this judging and scoring system, we can see what else he's got here.
Turntable, and then back to saran wrap, which is one of your tricks, the Canadian saran, right?
Canadian saran, yeah. The other way, but turntable, I mean, for people not being super familiar with freestyle motocross, they may think that's a pretty easy trick. Probably one of the hardest right side up tricks there is to do, the turntable.
When we return, we'll sort it all out for at different times. He did them out of order.
He did 2 tricks out of order. He knew it. Travis said he heard him yelling as he went by him down there. But moving on, too bad for Adam. He had an insane run going on. Taka Higashino starting off with a big bar hop.
Shaolin variation, trying to get the legs up and out. Something Ronnie Feist created. Gets a great score coming in for that trick. And Taka is one of those innovators and a guy that just has personality for days. So fun to talk to him, even though he doesn't speak a lot of English.
but always a big smile.
He's always smiling. He's always stoked. And that's the energy you love to see at events. All these guys really are very similar, but Taka just exudes that style.
He does, and you see on the graphic there, he's running right along with Sheehan, and he does on the 120-footer, a rock solid, a very solid rock solid on the 120-footer. Oh, did I forget to say he did a backflip? Well, he did that too.
And we'll be seeing big stuff like that in the best trick later on. Lots of progression, different ramps, different setups. As we see right now, Taka Needs a 6.71 to continue that pace. He was your second highest qualifier coming in, only surpassed by Levi Sherwood, who is still to come after Taka.
And Taka's actually running in the lead right now, the virtual lead, as he does a big KOD flip with a nice degree of difficulty, 0.85. Let's see where it comes in here. 8.38. And he's still running in front of Josh Sheehan, as you can see by the graphic there. And that's big news for Taka.
Absolutely. And you can see the score coming in. That's going to drop him behind just a bit. So Sheehan now has pushed his pace to the front. Now, Taka needs a 10.12, which is possible with this trick.
What's he got? Double grab on the 120. You know what? He barely got an Indian air on that. I have to say, it was supposed to be a double grab Indy flip. Whoa, the judges obviously seen something different than me. And then the Cali roll from the innovator of the Cali roll, and throws in some Taka style there to finish off. I'm not sure if that's going to count for any bonus points, but the Cali roll, very nicely done. He's the one that innovated a couple years ago. So,
and it's not enough. It's 8.68, taking a look back. Here is Taka inverted. Watch, going to the double grab.
Solid. Yeah, there's the rock. And look at that execution. Arms straight out, grabs back on, doesn't ladder back, and brings it around for a picture-perfect landing.
Another look at the 120. Taka, big extension. As you're saying, looking to cross the legs, not able to get it, which is what he called for the trick, and that's probably why the score didn't come in quite as hot as he had hoped for. But Higashino moves to the second position with only one rider left, so he's in position for podium. He's assured of that no matter what. But right now, Josh Sheehan sets on top in 82.70. Levi Sherwood from New Zealand, I like to call him the rubber band man. Watch the extension. Watch what he's capable of doing.
And huge turntable was just exuding so much style on that old school trick, throwing it down Levi Sherwood's way. Looks so good. Gets around, yeah, the 7.04 as his first score is as high as anybody has scored, which is absolutely amazing. Goes into the whip. Love Levi's turntables. He gets around way past, turned down way past 90 degrees.
And the score comes in at 7.61. He is on pace ahead of Sheehan. Remember, Sheehan ended with a double backflip with the highest degree of difficulty possible. So Levi needs to amass a set of tricks that can put him in a position where he has an attainable score at the end to surpass what Sheehan has put down. And right now, he's got the advantage.
Couple points right now. Big upside knack for Levi. That's one of my favorite tricks that Levi does. Just only guy doing it like that. Just styling with the mullet flowing. Maybe that's why I like that trick. I don't know.
Well, you guys both have some crazy hair to say the very least. Here's the 120-foot ramp. He held that so long.
Longest I've ever seen that trick held by double, I think. And did he slip a foot on landing a little bit?
I think he under-rotated just a little bit and it caught him off guard. We'll have to take another look at it. As the bike goes sideways, he throws the feet out the other side. He only needs a 4.09 to stay on that leading pace. We'll see what he gets. I'm sure it's going to be 20 and 8.7.
Wow.
Oh, now there.
Bar hop
He did
to
not get
Superman.
Did not get all the extension on the bar hop. So the judges are looking on a 1 to 10 scale with execution there.
8.3. Solid. And then that is, I think he's calling that the flaming mullet. It's his variation of the Rodova, but upside down as he grabs back on his C-grab roll. And then double grab, backflip, filthy.
The extension was beautiful. He needs a 7.46 to take the lead.
I think he's going to take the lead right now.
I do too.
And he's not take the lead. This is for the win, Kim. This is for the win of Freestyle Motocross. 8.63. Levi Sherwood comes from behind and takes the win.
He ran the pace the entire time. That's the beauty of seeing this, the judging with the degree of difficulty, being able to see the ISX judging as it happens. And we hear you, Todd, and I'll tell you, I'm right there with Tony with the sweaty palms and a little bit of stress up here. Andy, the forward thinking, the movement of Freestyle Motocross, taking a look at these 8 riders, some of which we don't even know.
Yes.
It's going to be incredible.
Well, yes. I mean, these guys have been, some of them have been flying over Stain with Travis Pastrana at his house and training every day for this event right here. This is Travis's brainchild. I'm just as scared as you and Tony right now. I mean, even Travis is nervous right now. The biggest stuff we've ever seen go down on dirt bikes is about to happen right now.
And the reason why we're stressed is, you know, we're dirt bike riders. These guys are our friends. We know they're pushing it. Taka heading into his first of 2 possible hits.
And that's a 120-foot rock-solid backflip that he holds well upside down, holding on to nothing of the motorcycle. And the crazy thing about that is an 8.8 on the degree of difficulty scale. This is the lowest degree of difficulty we're going to see tonight. 120-foot, rock-solid, perfectly executed backflip.
And as Travis led to, there are a couple of tricks we have seen before. That is one of them with the degree of difficulty at 8.8. We're going to wait to see what the judges come up with, and he'll set the bar. But there are 8 riders and so many different creative items, and 85.36 for Taka. Now, the riders can take 2 runs if they want to. We suspect some of them only take 1, as Harry Bink from Australia now takes the floor here in Salt Lake.
And now let's remember that Harry, we talked about it earlier, he dislocated his shoulder earlier today stretching, and he said he's really fighting the bike to come back, and he's got I was going to say the suicide no-hand front flip off the mechanical ramp there. I mean, we're looking at an 8.7 on the degree of difficulty. Check it out. It gets a little bump, but execution, that's a 10 in my book, Cam.
Yeah, the layout, the way he laid it out was so beautiful. And watch as he pops, holds the extension, total commitment, and then the landing, spots it, feels it. That's the scary thing about the front flip is you never see the landing until right in the last minute.
You can't see the landing, and in talking to Travis Pastrana earlier, he said there's only 6 feet of sweet spot on that landing. It is so steep, so you don't want to knuckle it, but if you go too far, you're in huge trouble. So only 6 feet of sweet, and Harry 84.
84.91 is going to put him in 2nd position. So the judges favoring what they saw from Taka, and the degree of difficulty for Taka's chip was a little bit higher by 0.1. And this, a new rider we're not familiar with, William Vanderpoot, and this is going right into it.
And same trick we just saw out of Bink, and that's the first time he's ever done it without the airbag. The last 3 days they've been practicing with a 3-foot airbag on top of that landing. We were a little stressed about him because he kept knuckling and he kept knuckling right up top. Even Travis said, I'm not sure he's going to make it. Look at this though. He goes way back, suicide style on that no-handed front flip, and he
nailed it.
Absolutely nailed the landing, and look at that extension away from the motorcycle cam.
He gets a bit off axis, but is able to pull it in. You can see he has to reel it in just a bit.
Wow.
But that is what we're talking about, the progression, taking it to another level, something different, something you haven't seen before, and his first time ever putting it onto a landing.
Could you imagine the feeling these guys have on some of these tricks of never having done it to a landing and then doing it here?
And he goes to first place as you saw the score come in.
Wow, he just edges out Taka by 0.2 of a point, and he is stoked right now.
So right now we're in the gate from Spain, Mark Pignol, and we're going to bring Travis in because Travis, well, this is your baby, and I got to tell you, so far you've been spot on with the creation and what we've seen progression-wise.
Oh, I'm so proud for Vanderpoot. He's been struggling with that trick. He's been at my house just working his butt off, and it paid off. Now we got Mark. He's about to go do this. This is the opposite of a special flip. It is a Superman seat grab, go into a front flip. The wind is a little bit here. If it blows him sideways at all, his foot catches it on the way back down. He comes in 100% blind. He's doing it off the 85-foot jump, which is bigger than he's ever done it before. This is a scary, scary trick, guys.
Travis, you just stressed me out listening to that explanation right now. Here we go with Mark. He's coming over, looking at the 85-foot ramp, like Travis said. I'm not even sure.
No, I know he can do it, but this is something that has really never been seen in contest. This is the biggest stage that Mark has ever been on, and he's coming at the ramp right now. Oh, perfect. Absolutely could not be better.
Wow! You called it, Travis. I mean, he came around. I don't know how he got around those bars at the last second.
That is such a technical trick. It's a Superman C grab, and as he flips forward, there's just no way to see anything. This is something that is going to have a very, very high degree of difficulty. It looks simpler than some of the front flips, but that was awesome.
Wow.
And really good execution as well.
9.2, the degree of difficulty. So Travis is spot on with the possibility of a huge score coming. Execution looks beautiful, and I agree with you, Bell. How does he get his leg up over the bar? You got to have so much presence of mind and know where you're at in the air to spin that around. And
Wow!
88.14. Wow, so what we've been seeing so far has not been disappointing. What I love the most is that they've been stopping it and bringing the progression. When we return, more riders.
Travis's. So he's in the lead, very strong. But speaking of strong, Mr. Jacko's strong right now.
Jacko is a beast. He's one of those riders that has that original style of freestyle, kind of the brute style, but he goes so big and is so committed. Now we're going to see him go into that 12-foot tall takeoff ramp.
And he just recently started doing this double backflip, and we're not sure which one he's going to do here. One went for the knack-knack, and sticks it very. I thought he was over-rotating. He was going pretty deep on that landing, but perfect stick for Jacko. And correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that might be the first one he's done without the airbag ever.
Confirmed. Taking another look at it, Andy. I agree with you. It really looked like he was going to come nose high. He looked for the knack-knack, did not get it. And he definitely nails the double back, comes around here, is starting to come a little nose high. Watch the pop as it goes off the jump. It really set that rotation.
He's going something like Travis said earlier, 55+ feet high on that trick.
Another look as he comes in for the landing. Big and strong, and you're not going to rip those bars out of his hands easily.
No, I mean, a lot of guys would have probably lost the bars on that slap down. The only thing we could pick apart there, he didn't get the full knack-knack, but the judges reward him very well. Rooted him into second place with 87.23.
And that's going to bring up Josh Sheehan, definitely one of the favorites when you talk about going huge from Australia. We saw him a bit earlier in the freestyle comp. I'm sensing a double backflip variation here. He has a number of them listed on his possibilities.
Josh is Mr. Double backflip, Superman, and Ambo! And he loses it. That's the first double I've actually seen Josh crash on in over a year. This guy does them consistently on the Nitro Circus Tour. Look at that. Way off the motorcycle with the Superman. Comes back to it and just gets a little too much height, a little bit too much rotation, and comes around. And the really cool thing Travis has done with this event is there's a little bit of an airbag under that landing. So that would have been a catastrophic crash on just hardwood. Thankfully for Josh, he's a strong dude. Hopefully he'll be able to come back and give us another run.
This is Pat Bowden, and from Australia as well. Double front flip.
We are front flip KO.
Oh, sorry.
He is our front flip KOD. He's been over at Travis's house. He called Travis and said, look, maybe in the past I've been kind of a punk around the sport. I've been, I haven't given respect where it's due. I'm here, I'm ready to work. Been up at 4 a.m., Travis told me, working out, training, getting ready for this trick, which I saw on Travis's Instagram the other day, absolutely blew my mind.
And we know Travis is down there. This is near and dear to his heart. I did a little precursor there to the possible double front flip later from Greg Duffy, but right now Pat has the course.
And he's looking right now at the highest degree of difficulty of anything we've seen so far tonight at 9.6. So if he got a perfect 10, we're talking about a score of 96 possible, which could put him way in the lead. As he takes his last look at the ramp.
And rolling in, the course is his, and we'll see. Salutes the crowd.
Oh! So huge! We're jumping up and down up here. Wait until you see this trick from the side angle. Everybody, I know that came in. We were looking at it from the front. It's hard to see exactly what went down. Wait already. And first guy to congratulate him, look at that, hits the mechanical kicker, and he gets out.
Look at the extension. That is ridiculous.
Wow! And he holds it. Half of the trick, he holds it, comes around. Looked like he wanted to throw him over the front on the landing. But he's a strong kid. All that work in Travis's gym downstairs in Travis' house has really paid off. He hung on to that thing. And we wait for the score.
A 94.08. That's going to put him right on the top. And Travis is pumped up. Travis, that's a great moment for sure.
Well, and it looks like we're not waiting on this. Double front flip. Greg Duffy, we didn't even get up. He just rode out of the double. Double front flip. We didn't even have time to build that thing up. Wow.
Pastrana on scene, of course, excited. Everybody's fired up. Travis, what an amazing moment.
Finishing what Bruce Cook started a few years ago. Greg Duffy, we didn't even get time to say his name before he started. He wanted to get that. Travis,
I
yes.
can't even talk right now. He's one of the best racers. He's the only rider from America in this final. He has put his heart, he has put his soul, his family, his little girl are here watching, man. I tell you what, this guy deserves every bit. That was, if he over-rotated, he's going to die. Literally the most insane thing I've ever thought. Smile for BC. Bruce Cook, I know you're watching at home, man. Love you guys.
Oh,
The excitement here is unbelievable, palpable for sure. Travis excited. Greg Duffy bringing the heat here in Utah at the Nitro World Games. More when we return to. It is not over. Still have riders taking the course. Greg Duffy a 96.60 and holds the lead.
But Harry Bink is not giving up. He's bringing it on right now as he gets the front flip Indian air and lands
together.
And lands it. That was a big step up from what we saw him do earlier, even though he stabbed the foot. Front flip Indian air. Oh, look at that. And then he gets so far off the motorcycle. I mean, look at the extension.
Part of the excitement and just the feeling here is because these are rotations and moves, meaning the body and the bike going the way they are is something that we could have never imagined it not that long ago in the sport.
No, I still am not imagining it. I'm watching it live on NBC right now, right in front of us here.
And Vanderpoot coming out, and he is going to send the same trick, comes around.
Oh. And more extension, if that was even possible on that.
Let's take a look at our leader right now, Pat Duffy. Extremely excited. Sorry, Greg Duffy with the double front. Unbelievable. Leader here at the Nitro World Games. Of course, this is the best trick presented by Monster Energy. Josh Sheehan with another run. He's going to go for it.
He's got to go for it. I mean, he crashed, very uncharacteristic crash for Josh, even though he was throwing in a massive combination into his double backflip. He's out there actually banging the front tire of his bike, trying to straighten things out, which, as if a double backflip combination isn't hard enough, not having 100% confidence in your bike is throwing a whole nother level of messing with his mind right now. Come on, Josh.
Sheehan headed for the double back.
Oh, massive extension, and he rides out of it perfectly.
Absolutely nailed.
And that was like a kiss of death, backflip, kiss of death to backflip again. Double backflip with a kiss of death right in the middle of it.
Absolutely stunning. And we have seen some amazing things. Watch this extension.
Look at that, kiss of death. Brings it around, perfectly sticks the landing, and that has to be a 10. He has to get a 10 there for execution.
Absolutely looking for the rebate from his first run. He's able to put that together. And if he were to score a perfect 10 on execution,
he could win right now.
He could win.
9.7 on the list, so
He's going to finish third with the 91.45 for Sheehan. So epic competition. Let's send it right down to Todd Richards. Todd, what an amazing event.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe what I've been seeing. Tony?
Any make is a first time ever.
Wow.
Of these tricks being completed. It's been unbelievable.
Travis, I mean, everyone's been asking you all night long, is this fulfilling your wishes?
It is so far, it's a success, man. Every single person up there in Bicycle Big Air was pumped. They were excited, no injuries. And then you come to where I thought there was a chance that people were literally going to die. Double front flip from Greg Duffy. I mean, a double back flip, kiss of death, gets a third Nitro World Games is just, this has
All
been
right,
awesome.
guys. Well, that does it for the first ever Nitro World Games. We'll see you next year here for Nitro World Games 2. For Tony Hawk and Travis Pastrana, I'm Todd Richards. It's been an honor to host.